Hey, good morning, FH. Hey, good morning, man. How are you doing? DCW. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I got long yesterday right off the open. I added a little bit. Because where we closed, I mean, we put in that. If you looked at the Substack plan, it said, I like the probe of the 15 and reclaim, and they did it right at the start of the overnight session. Right here, this little range here. 15 broke and then held. Got long right here. Right there at that area. I bought a couple lots, scaled, and then I bought a couple more. And then I'm holding what I got right now so far. Great to tune in again. Hey, thanks for being back, man. It was, the plan triggered kind of right away at the close. Let's see, this one right here. Break and reclaim. Potential breakout of 7546, which is right where we're at right now. This setup is a break and reclaim, not a high quality one, given the relative to where we are relative to the range. It's worth considering a level to level move to 24 with the potential breakout to 46s, which is right where we are at the open right now. Currently have a gap up right now. Reclaiming back above the prior day high. That was a dip and go. Tested the 35s, which was prior day low. It's also the cluster, huge cluster area here. Right there. We referenced this yesterday. Came back, tested it, and just ramped. This is where we held below. So as long as this holds now, this is, I mean, the path of least resistance is somewhere around here. 70s through 65. And then if we break out, we'll see. We got the value area highs over here. Yesterday high, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yep, exactly. Yesterday high right here. Yesterday high is 36s, so yeah. Hmm. No, dude, I'm not trying to. And the computer tries to tell me, like, you want to. Come on, brother. Don't do that right now. I'm not trying to maximize my window, bro. Come on. There you go. Nah, bro, stop it. Stop it. Anyway, we're long, and we'll see if this it's gonna hit one of the targets here. Again, the area of interest is mostly around there on the I'm short Reddit stock. Okay, that's okay. Oh, why are you short Reddit stock? Let's take a look at Reddit. Dang, what the heck happened to semis? They gapped up 5%. You're short. Reddit's down 1.2. Hey, you're short Reddit stock. Why are you short this uptrend? Are you short like options or shares or inverse ETF? I mean, I see it swept the high from last week back in. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this short, man. Monthly as well. Looks like it put in nice bounce off the open IPO. Okay, you're holding below this area, but it has to, I would say it needs to break this neckline, right? Otherwise, it's just a trap potentially. Because you have this whole large balance here. I mean, the bearishness kicks in once you get below this base, 172. What's the idea here? I don't really see it. Sucks. This one had a massive gap and go. Look at this thing. What's going on with chips, man? They're gapping up 5% today. Look at that. Boom, boom. What the heck? Chippies are going happy today. I don't know what that's about. It's a massive gap. If you're watching crap up there, I'll throw out short oil, MCO, if you will, possible big head and shoulders rollover. MCO, I'm assuming that's oil. Okay. I saw the video that you recommended. It's uses models that are, I guess someone he saw a post about him being a quant online. He tried to like reverse engineer the frameworks that he uses to give out the matrix or the probability matrix of like being bullish or bearish based on a few different parameters. It was okay. I mean, that video gives you a good foundation for maybe what quants to use. I don't even know if they do or don't use that model. The math may check out. I didn't see the math. I don't think he explained it. But the video was interesting. It was data driven, so it was pretty interesting to watch the data driven analysis and the back testing. And then try to forward test with the indicator he made. Obviously, the guy has no trading background experience. He's just a person who's making videos about how to use Claude Code. Which was, I think the foundation of the video was very beneficial. He provided good insight on like how to use it, how to think about it, and stuff like that. That was really cool. Okay, let's go in here at the yeah, he had some math to it. Yeah, it's definitely good. I like the math that he used, you know. He's trying to quantify trying to quantify the math behind what quants use, which is obviously the most beneficial aspect of it was like the framework around how to use Claude Code to develop a strategy. I like that. I like that, the fact that he was able to do that in a very like objective way. I think that within itself is probably the most beneficial takeaway for sure. I scaled one here at the overnight high. It's always a target no matter where we're trading. Hey, good morning, Pung Pung. Welcome back, brother. It says oil eases as investors assess US-Iran peace prospects. Oh no. He just keeps going back and forth on this whole Iran stuff. We get a little pullback. I'm open to adding more to this trade. After several weeks of watching, I decided there is no way I can do what you do. However, so many good things you say help me on my own journey. Well, that's good. There you go. There's no way you can do what I do. I mean, that's the reason there's so many ways to trade, and the understanding of that, you know, within yourself and what someone else is saying is a very powerful thing. The fact that you can discern, you know, like, hey, he has stuff to share. It's somewhat valuable, but I don't see myself in that. And that is an important, important comparison there. It's like, I'm not. That's very good. The call wall is all the way at 74. We're below the flip? What the heck? Really? Yeah. Really, I realize that just trying to learn stuff that doesn't resonate. Yep, Hunter. It's very good. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't give it too much thought. I agree. Where is he? It's negative gamma or short gamma. The flip, or not short gamma. The flip is above us. 69. Interesting. Huh. What about the NQ? Oh, NQ or below it. That's interesting. Yeah, well, thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Jim. When I apply it to my own simplified way of looking at markets, because all I have to look at the same order. Yeah, the same order. I mean, if you're looking at the market, we're all looking at the same thing. Different ways to interpret it, right? And we might as well all come to the same conclusion, I think. If we're looking at it, I think objectively to some degree, we'll come to the same conclusion. The only difference is like what time frame you're looking at. Sometimes people look at different time frames and make commentary based on that time frame. So for example, someone said there's short Reddit stock. I looked at the stock and I was like, why? It makes no sense to me. Like, why would you be short Reddit stock? It makes no sense. But maybe he sees something in a small time frame that makes sense to him, you know? So, you know, that time frame aspect is really the most important thing of it all. It's like, well, are we all looking at the same frame or are we looking at different ones? Because it's like a painting, you know? Depending what angle you see it from, we'll notice different things. You know, we can both look at the same piece of art, but if someone's looking at it from a different angle, might notice something different. Yeah, see, like Reddit's bouncing right now. It's about to go positive from going negative. Like down, look, it's about to go positive, flat. Went from down 1% to flat. I don't think he told me why he was short, but I don't see it. I see a failed breakdown, but it has to go lower for that to happen. That's not loading. Like for me to see this as a bear case, it has to go below at least 182. Yeah, it's all time frame. Yeah, you know, maybe he already took the short after the open, and then it went down 1%, and then he closed it, and he's done, right? Like maybe he saw something like in a smaller time frame where it went down 1%, and he's right. Right? He was short the stock. He closed it. He was right. But then, by the time I looked at it, and the lens that I used, it was like I don't see the short setup. The context is always important. Typing price and frame, so not time frame independent. But buyer seller strength dependent for a new candle formation. I mean, if that's what do you mean by that, CCW? Typing PNF. I don't know what PNF is. I'm sorry. worst. Yesterday at the close on the Substack, I said yesterday was pretty straightforward for the rest of the week now. As long as NQ held the failed breakdown, then the rest of the the clearest path forward was higher on the S&P. Here it is, watch. This was yesterday. Does it have a time? At 12? So right before the close, 30 minutes before the close, because I'm in Pacific time. Assuming the neckline on NQ holds, the clearest path forward now is up on ES back into 755, 7570 once more. That would put NQ at 30k. Where's NQ? Just shy of 30k. So I said this yesterday before the market closed that the market looked like it wanted to go. It could now go higher now that NQ put in a failed breakdown of the of this level right here. Where is it at? The 29,300? Yeah. I shared a little picture of on my phone, the neckline right here. That was a failed breakdown on the NQ, and I think that's what it needed. The NQ just needed to put a failed breakdown in, so that we could reverse back up on the S&P. And so last night, with that in mind, as long as that held, that's why I was long last night. I could see a scenario where we gap and go, and that's why I bought more pre-market. I bought it at a terrible price, but we went higher. I filled right here and dipped down, and then it went higher. I was originally filling right here, so I bought a few at 16 or 20, more at 29, and then I scaled along the way. There's times in the market where things are just very clear. The only problem from yesterday was that it was very clear, but I didn't size the trade, which is something I will have to reference later. It's like that was the clearest I've seen outside of 2 weeks ago when we had gap down, and I was long at the open. You know, outside of that day, today was one of those days. Yeah, last night and today was one of those days where like the clearest trade to the upside, like it was super clean in the sense that I can not guarantee, but the conviction I had was relatively high. The only problem is the P&L to conviction. There's a disconnect there, and that's where I messed up today. Was that my P&L should have been a lot bigger, at least 5 times bigger, in this scenario. So I messed up on that front. That I didn't size the trade accordingly, like I had 2 weeks ago when I was up 2,500 as well, on that conviction I had on that day. So something I'll be putting in my journal today, you know, as a reminder to size trades when there's conviction according to that conviction. I think the detriment to me was yesterday's loss, and that's probably part of the reason why I didn't want to. The prices offered were not the best. It made me nervous. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. It's like, where does this nervousness come from? Because it's so high, and you can see it pull back. Because if so, like the way I there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. It can make sense, but the way I discern or the way I discern that thought of like, we're so high up after having sold off, I don't want to buy at such high prices. That's why I like to look at the correlation of another asset like the NQ, because the NQ, if we look at the NQ where it is on a higher time frame, it's cheap, right? It's relative to where the S&P is. So let's go look at the NQ. Right, so if it is, then that ability to pay high prices, you see that, look at this. it makes more sense, right, when you compare the two assets because you know they're correlated. If you look at where this is where I said yesterday at the close, they drew the failed breakdown right here at 29,300 right here. Look at how much we've already rallied. So I think that this correlation that I look at, because I use the NQ as a correlation asset, gives me conviction to buy S&P at higher prices, because I understand that the S&P can be higher based on that correlation. It can go higher, right? Because I know that correlation is heavily weighted, which is what I said here yesterday. And the S&P yesterday at the close, I think, was at the 20s. So I said here, if we close with the NQ holding, if we close over 35s or hold 35s, the NQ put in a massive failed breakdown, 23,900. Assuming the neckline the NQ holds, the clearest path forward is up on the ES into 55.70s once more. We're already there, almost at 70s, a few points away. And the S&P at the time was 75.20s. So that's a 50-point upside on the S&P possible based on the NQ's breakdown, failed breakdown. That correlation to me gave me conviction to buy higher prices, if that makes sense. It's like for me, because I thought to crush 74.50 for me, I needed to reject more than it is. Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I think it probed into it a couple times overnight. You know, that 40 area. Look at that. Last night, it definitely did that. There's one test here, consolidation, right? You definitely had that reaction. One rejection, consolidation, breakout, hold above, and then it came back and then held above again. So you're right, it did. It did need that 40s area is a wall, of course, from the downside. You're not wrong. But so that was good analysis on your end, because it's certainly, that price action did prove that overnight that was a wall. I loved your NQ correlation. I saw that clearly, but I just kept hoping for 20, for the ES to dip 20. That makes sense. I mean, I get it. That's why sometimes, like, another thing when it relates to that, I have a line in the sand. To me, that means like, okay, I'm willing to buy the dip up until price gets below this area. Below this area, I'm hands off, and if it gets below that zone and consolidates underneath it, I know, or based on my analysis, because I don't ever know, based on my analysis, if it accepts below that, it's going to come down another 50 or 20 points, and I don't want to be a part of that drawdown. So I always have like a clear line in the sand, so it gives me conviction to buy dips even if the position is going against me. I don't mind being in drawdown 10, 20 points if I know my upside's 50 or so points, 2 to 1, but I'm averaging slowly into it against my line in the sand, right? Like I have a line in the sand, and I know my stop loss is going to go somewhere below that. And I know my max risk, meaning like how much I'm willing to risk on that trade as a whole. So as I have a position already open, and I know I want to max risk 1,000 or 800. Then I know I have room to add to the trade because I know my stop loss below that level is still 500 or 300. So I have room to add a few more lots. I'll wait for it to dip more, or I'll wait for it to accept, or whatever it is. And I'm willing to add to the trade until it finally takes me out. And I'm like, okay, I was wrong, and I did, my max risk allocation was X, and it took me out, so that's it. So that also is a part of it. It's like my stop loss is fixed somewhere from a structural level, and I'm willing to add into the trade as it goes. And that was an example of yesterday what I did. And that was to my detriment because it didn't work out. I was wrong. It doesn't show the fills, but yeah. That's another part of it too that I do. I have like a dynamic static stop somewhere. I've seen you do that as I watched you, and I'm trying to mimic that, but it's difficult. Yeah, it's, again, not everything's for everyone. Like you said earlier, it's just what I do, right? It's not for everyone for sure. I'm just explaining my way around that type of problem, right? You're coming to me with like a problem, and that's the way I've been able to solve that same problem that you had. The psych aspect of it, of going long at a high price or whatever. I've been able to do different things, analyze different things, and to be able to not be affected by that psychological aspect of it, which is like the correlation to the NASDAQ, sizing the trade, easing into it, having a max loss, and a static level where I will call it a trade, so to speak. So those are kind of the things that I've done. Doesn't mean everyone has to do that or you should do that. It's just what I do. So yesterday, my line in the sand last night was 505. So last night when I was long, right, I was long at the right here at the 20s. My stop loss is going to be 505. That's where I have a line in the sand here, right? So as long as we held 505, I was willing to add to the trade and continue to trade with it, the trend. So when here, when profit, I added another lot here, scaled, added more, and so on and so forth. And as we trade higher, the line in the sand goes higher. And I look at the structure, I'm like, okay, the line in the sand is shifted now. Yeah, it's an evolution aspect of it. Like that part of my trading evolved into that. But the difficulty of it is like, are you placing your line in the sand in the correct spot? Because what can happen is that can ruin your risk to reward, and if your win rate is not accurate. So you got in right after the hour, yeah, after hours, yeah, I did. Right as soon as it opened, I bought a few lots, and then I saw it consolidate, and I bought more. As you can see, like I bought initially here. And then as it consolidated, I bought more here. And again, this was just because I saw the structure. I have a journal, right? Like a newsletter where I said this setup is a break and reclaim setup. So let's explain that. Let's unwrap that right now while I have this going. This is the break and reclaim, right? You got here's the consolidation. Here's the consolidation. And I said the 15, which is right here. And I said in the newsletter, this is set up as a break and reclaim setup. It's not a high quality one, given the price relative to today's range. So I'm highlighting that, yes, we're literally the high of day, so not the best location, but worth the risk, considering for a level to level move between 515 and 24 with a potential breakout into 546. So with that, I waited for the setup, probe below, reclaimed, and that's the trigger, right? It says right here, breakdown below 515, ideally quick probe of 510, 507, and did exactly that right here. And then reclaim back above 15, 17, put it at a close there. It did exactly all those things. So with that in mind, I'm like, well, there's no reason I shouldn't be long. So then I got long here, and then the scales again was 24 and higher. So around here, and then 46 over here. Those are all the areas, more or less. That was kind of the trade. And that trade was posted like before the plan even triggered. Trying to quick short, it's good. Looks like you got momentum on your side there, for sure. The NQ is really stretched, honestly. Oh, so hard. Really help. Okay, well that's good, man. As long as you you can take a trade and make it your own, right? It's the most important part, I think, in trading is like you take a framework, or you have a trading style and it resonates, but you make it your own. It's probably one of the best things you can do. Rotationary, yeah, it is a word. It looks rotationary to you. Well, how are you defining that it looks rotationary? Like how do you define that? Like looking rotationary, and then showing characteristics that it's in a rotation are two different things. Like I personally don't like to say it looks like this, it looks like that. I want to be able to have data points that say, based on today's open, today has a potential of being a rotation day, a rotationary day. And so I'm going to fade the edges based on these assumptions, based on this data, based on this structure. So like, what structure or what are you seeing that gives you the conviction to say it's rotationary? Not to say you're wrong, but just kind of giving you, like, pushing back and saying, okay, well, what are you doing to classify that? What are you holding on to? What are your metrics for calculating that, or saying that, or doing that, as opposed to just eyeballing it? Because there's a lot, back to the making it your own. If you guys watch any of the SMB Capital videos, a lot of those traders in that prop at SMB, they all laid out a foundation. They all trained those traders different strategies, but eventually the ones that made it out and the ones that are really great, they made certain trade styles. They made copies of their own trade styles and made it fit their personality. The session traded so far between the standard deviations. We are now expected high. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. His indicator, what is it again? Let's put it on here. I like that. I think I have it right here. Yeah. So he has a okay. So let's actually use that. Chart. So this is what he's looking at, because you have your indicator, right? This one. All right, open a chart. You're about to hit your target. Nice job. Use on chart. And L levels. Nope, that's not the one. How do I add it to the chart? For some reason it's not. See if we can let me actually post this here too if you guys want to use it. This is what he's using for that deviation. This is his indicator he made. There's your 49 target perfectly. There we go. Perfect. Now it's loading. Okay, so he's looking at this essentially. It hit the quarter. I'm assuming this is what you saw. It hit the quarter deviation move. So this data is delayed on this, right? Because I don't have the data for it. But the quarter, let's see, where is the quarter is at 68. Okay, just right near the high. Perfect. And then he's targeting here, which is 48, but he's targeting a little higher. So his idea was like the trading balance between the deviations, which is this one. So he's shorted around here, I'm assuming, and he's targeting this deviation between the two standard deviations, which worked out well. Look at that. The indicator, this is delayed data, so it doesn't show where price is now. It's obviously way lower than where it's showing. But the indicator's right there on the screen if you guys want to look at it. It's on the chat. See if we can refresh it. Okay, so this is what he sent right here. This is he's just showing me a screenshot of the trade. Let me just open up what I had open. So the box here, the 0.5, and then he was targeting, oh, right here, this one. Oh, he already covered. Look at that. See his fills right there. Fill. Fill. Very nice. Nice fade, nice trade. He has the fills and everything in there. I got no place to go. All right. Okay, cool. He gave me the whole rationale. He said you can see the open. We traded to the 0.5 and then back to a quarter. After we opened, we went up to 0.5 and then expected high. The purple box. I expected a reversion. Could go all the way down there, but go for base hits. Green box. Expected low. Specific hour lined up with that low. So could end up being a failed breakdown now. Cool. Very nice. Went past below into VWAP, not good territory to be in. See what they do here. Where's the weakness coming from? The Mag 7 are pretty weak, and then also chips are going red. Oh no. Whatever was flying is coming back. See what the chips are doing. Yeah, they're getting a little bit sold. Whatever was showing strength this morning is now showing weakness. So the Mag 7 and chips both went down. Hmm? 7:15. Okay, we're here. See if we can get back above prior day high. The line in the sand here is the inability to get above the prior day high, which is right here at 36s. If we can't get above that, it's failed move. If this is just, what time is it? 7:16. So if it gets above it, I'll probably add a couple more lots. Okay, I'll buy it preemptively, but we'll keep the stop a little higher. 24. Let's see, where should we place it? Full session value low. Yeah, around 25 is where I need to have it. I bought more here at 36s based on that prior day high. Reclaim. See if we can come back into a little bit above VWAP. Value for the session is higher. Let's see. They need to reclaim 48s, but also I'll take some off right at the value low for the current session in case it becomes a rejection spot. So value low is right here. If we come in, I'm gonna scale right there in case it does this. I'll scale one lot of the two that I got right at the value low. If it does that retest. That 36 is holding so far. You don't want to see this except below 20s, or yeah, 20s. 25 through 20 is really where the bear thesis begins. The overnight session where we kind of ran up from. So if it holds below 20s, between 20 and 25, and just consolidates there, it's not very good at all. Yeah, the Mag 7 got really smoked. I don't know which one it is of the Mag 7, but it got smoked. Down 1.67. The collective. See what they got. Yeah, it's Google is down 2, Meta is down 1.8. Yeah, a lot of them are down. Apple, Microsoft. It looks like a rotation out of Mag 7 into chips. It's so weird. Huh. Anyway, we have some rotation going on in the background. Chip rotation out of Mag 7. Not good. I think that's what they need. Is they need like confluence between those different assets. You need to have them both running in tandem for this to really break out of the 70s. 75, 70s. They're holding below the priority high. So that's your first line. That's your first kind of concerned area for me as a bull. Is their inability to hold above the priority high. Yankee just puked and went down past view up. Don't see aggressive buyers coming after the absorption. No, I mean there's none here that should be here. Ideally would be here. At least not that I see. Yeah, you should. This is looking structurally like, and as far as like momentum goes, the opening momentum is gone. They're now like they're breaking this down. Here's the probe of the initial low open, or the opening low. Okay, from this low here, they have to really press now, because if they don't and reclaim, this is definitely going to be a reversal. When you break that low from the open, it doesn't work out, they give them fuel to squeeze them out. We'll see if it holds or not. See if it holds priority high here. If it does, I'm open to adding more to this trade too. And then I'll put my stop right there at that low. See if we can get momentum here. It's right at the wall. Okay. Need to see momentum push, and I'll add on the momentum. Okay, I'll buy some more there. Put my stop right below this low. We'll see if this breaks or holds or not, but at this point, they have to break and hold. Otherwise, momentum's lost, and this is going to be a deeper pullback. You can see they're trying to push back into the priority high. If they can momentum push here, again, the value area low is the first target, which is around 48, near the open, essentially. It's not really a strong push past it, it's just choppy up. I'd like to see a stronger squeeze push. If it doesn't, it has probability to fail, in my opinion. Momentum's not really there. INQ is trying to probe and it's failing. It's right below VWAP too. They're really trying. You can see the effort there on the tape. It's not really a lot of effort because there's not a lot of volume. It's really small, but they're trying to push into it. It's just not enough so far. Okay, they pushed. There's VWAP, NQ holding above VWAP, needs to get past the open. Still pretty staticky tape, honestly. Even though we're pushing higher, I don't have high conviction in them. I don't want to see this kind of price action where we're pushing into a strong level. You want to see some force come in, you know, like conviction, more or less. There it is. There's some of it. They're probably just taking out some stops there. I'll take some off right there. Just where they're pushing. They did like a little bit of a, what do you call it? A static push. I don't know what to call it. Like a flare up. Usually when they flare, I like to scale on those flares. Usually means they took out some stops. Some liquidity probably hit. That's my assumption. I don't really know. But whenever they flare out price action, like it's kind of teetering like this, and then it goes, and not really that big of a spike. But when price on the DOM is like inching, and then it does this little spike thing, and then it comes back in. I like to scale into that because my assumption is they just took out some liquidity, and I don't know if that's what it was looking for, and if there's going to be continuation past it. So this is where it happened, that little liquidity spike right on this area. We'll see if it holds or not. That's where I'm trying to scale right now for now. See if they give it to me. The IB is about to be set in like 3 minutes as well. So, alright, dude, just give it to me. Stop being a dick. Alright. Let's see. We'll probably target the IB high, near the IB high, and then we'll hold another runner again on this. 56. So we're still grinding up. Not much of a momentum yet. It's just grinding up. I would like to see a strong flush back up because that sell had a lot of momentum in it. And I'd like to see the opposite reaction in the other direction. So far, it's looking like it's coming right now, but we'll see. So what they essentially did is they took out the opening low right here by a tick or two, and then they reclaimed back above, which is where I added right here on the reclaim above prior to high. So they took out the initial low. There was not much volume. Nobody really pushed below it. They accepted back at 36s, which is where I said I would add. We added right there, and then we scale a little bit here, and we'll scale some more as it goes a little higher. The IB is about to be set in 2 minutes, so we'll see if we can target the IB high. There's the walk play by play more or less of the trade. Oh, my fault, really? Why? Oh, girly. Here's the value high from the current session, 55s. The IB is about to be set in 1 minute, so let's see what they do. I have 3 lots actually. I'm sorry. I thought I had 2 lots left. So I'll scale 1 here at the value or high for the session. Changing my mind, Reddit long, trade sector looking to explode today. Okay, cool. Great way to be malleable. I scaled more here at the value or high. I have 2 lots left. We'll put 1 at the IB high break and then see where that goes. This is like, I've been just trading the range or the trend ups since overnight into this morning. The only fill that I do not like has been the one from pre-market that I got long here. But other than that, pretty good structural long areas all night and into yesterday. Good long here, good long here. They're all near swing lows, my entries so far, which is what I like to see. Right? So swing low, swing low, swing low. And then scale here, scale here. So all the scales are pretty good locations as well, I will say. None of them I'm too disappointed in. Scale here, scale here, scale here, scale here. So the scales are making sense as well. What? That's what you said yesterday, huh? How'd you know? So we'll see if they trade the IB low or not. All right, so we're all wrapped up here. Again, I'm not gonna add any more. I'm not gonna do anything besides see if it breaks. Is that from Stuart Little? Is it little high, little ho? Right? I don't know. What is it? What is it? It sounds about right. Okay. All right. Alright, well, again, I'll kind of pay attention a little passively, and we're going to be working on something else for now, but... Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, cool. Yeah. What is it? Wow. Great. That's smart of them to do that, honestly. See the overall the profiles are very pretty bullish momentum. Oop, too far out. Based on where we develop value, right where we kind of fell off from the last P profile. So we're within this range here from 7.7. And a bullish scenario today to end of the day would be closing above here, above the 80s, kind of the neckline where we broke down that P profile. This would be a bullish scenario into tomorrow, and I would assume we test 616, 600s on that scenario if we do hold. We're kind of ways from there, but if we were to close here for the day, then I wouldn't be surprised if we test 600s and above. The bearish scenario for today would be closing below 7,500s, where that bull bear line is. So we'll see what happens the rest of the session. It's still a long time. It's barely 7:30. IB just got set. Okay, I guess we'll do like a Q&A for now. Did you fade or long today? If there's no wrong answer here, given that we traded pretty two extremes for the day in pretty balanced range, so either you faded the highs or you long the dip this morning. No wrong answer. Both. Oh man, someone got some long both. My man. Someone did both. Or a couple people did both. Way to go, I guess. It's cool. So again, the IB is the next target. Who knows why I'm targeting IB? Can anyone that's been a viewer here know why the target's IB? The IB high? I talk about it almost every day. And if someone says no, then I'll just explain, which is fine. Either way, no matter. Oh my god, of course, FH. My god, of course. The stats. Oh, there we go. We got two people. Jim, too. Stats, yeah. Odds of either one getting touched. The gap. It's likely to IBH. Hey, by the way, talking about that, FH, do you have stats for what statistical probability of hitting the IBH on a gap up? Or a gap and go? Because I only have a stat for like a generalized any given session probability of hitting an IB high or low. Like, no matter the structural day, right? Whether it's a gap up, gap down, flat open, or whatever it is. Like, I don't have a specific stat for a specific open. Mainly just a stat for broadly speaking on any given session. But yes, that's correct. The stats. I don't, but I will get one. I have stats on from high forms, first or low. Okay. I mean, if you don't, it's okay. I appreciate it. If you do, that'd be cool. I want to review it and see what you may pull. Okay, let's see. So yeah, let's share that picture here, the stats. We'll see if it works out today. I mean, the stats are stats. Doesn't mean nothing's 100%. So the stat here for the last 2 years that I did was here it is, initial balance. At least one IB broke, 78%. This is one IB breaking, right? Not necessarily breaking the upside one, but any of them breaking. 78%. Assumption. What do we got? All right, let's see. It says here. So thanks for sharing it, by the way. First break IB low. This is for a buy rejection. Buy rejection. Time frame. Buy wick. All days, NB ending in all days, IB any size. Okay. Alright, let me go back to the other. Oh shoot, that's not what I was trying to do. Alright, I sent you. Thanks, man. I think I have right here. Where's that? So from February 21, February 26, February 21, February 26. For some reason, I don't comprehend what's going on. It's so we got The first Ebury high 28%, but then this one over here shows 73. Can you I'm confused, honestly. Both. Long both. For the first high form, which side gets hit first, and the low, which side gets hit first? Ah, okay, so when the, okay. So whether we return to the high or low, which high gets put in first? So the low got put in first, technically. Is that what you mean? Like the low got put in first because it opened and then ran up, and the IB was set near the high, more or less. Right, am I getting that right? So if we rip and the low was made a pullback into a structural level, and there's a high chance it gets touched. Ah, okay. The sequence of forming the top or the bottom of the IB. Yeah, that's what I understand too, so he just explained it. Thanks, man. Any other question? In my life, so I hustle. They're stalling out here. The what? Okay. The next step is an interactive activity. All right, well, again, I'm just working on other stuff in the background. I don't really have much comment to say. We're kind of balanced overall. We're hitting a wall here near the overnight high, which is also the value high for the current session. Not really breaking out, and then momentum's kind of faded out more or less. Ideally, I want to see them break and continue post IB, but I'm not sure. Momentum's not really here. Just gonna let it do its thing and see what happens. This is what I'm interested in. What platform do you use to trade? Trade View, Sierra. What else we got? Quant Tower. Motive. Wave. Jigsaw. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So was the quiz wrong? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, whatever the curriculum says at the time. Well, congrats. This is the midterm, right? Hmm. Oh, because you took pictures of them yesterday, right? Oh, wow. That must have taken a while. Uh-huh. Oh, that makes sense. As a source? It says, I've used ATS, MotiveWave, NinjaTrader, and Sierra. In love with Sierra capabilities and customization. I love ATS order flow indicators, but Sierra chart takes it for me. No way. So ATS is good, huh? I haven't used ATAS or MotiveWave. NinjaTrader 8 in deep dumb. I tried Quant Tower and the layout is terrible. Immediately quit it. So what about Quant Tower did you not like about the layout? Like the way the inferences, or what is it exactly? And then why NinjaTrader? How is Ninja Trader? I've never used it. I know it's pretty versatile, but I don't know its capabilities. Yeah, a lot of people use Tradewrick, TradingView, pretty common. ATAS, MotiveWave. I guess the question should have been which ones have you? No, because then you can't vote more than once. I wish you could. Options Alpha and Tasty Trade. Oh, I didn't know Options Alpha had a trading platform. Tasty Trade, definitely good for options trading. You know, the inference is like element table in chemistry. No way. I think I remember then. I remember seeing it. Kind of blocky. Super. I love it. It's just so expensive compared to Sierra, and Sierra profiles capabilities are just head and shoulders above ATS. Has a great order flow indicators. No way. So what indicators are in ATAS or things that you wish were in Sierra that are not in Sierra from ATAS? The inference is like on a table. That's funny. Speed of tape, MBO. I don't know how they calculate it, but volume, support, and resistance levels, no way. They have volume, support, and resistance? Speed of tape was really helpful. So the speed of tape, is that an indicator, or is that like, was that an indicator it had? Or like it read the velocity, kind of like an odometer? Or what do you mean by that? I agree that ATS is super nice to use. The MBO version of Price Ladder is really cool. What does the MBO version of the Price Ladder look like? It shows all the MBO stacked orders, like icebergs and stuff. See, this stuff all new to me. This is cool. I didn't even know this. I've never used ATS. I've only used I've used a few platforms. I've never really committed to a lot of them. I'm pretty specific or picky. But ATAS is, I've always been curious about ATAS and MotiveWave. I've never used either. I think their prices are in euros. It's like volume on your chart, the volume bars, and it will highlight when the DOM goes crazy or red. No way. When the DOM goes crazy, it's a volume on your chart, the volume bars. Oh, how cool. It presents small bubbles of each price level that represents the bid and ask. Wow. So it's like you can be looking at something in a like corner of your eye, you can catch some sort of momentum creeping into the tape, right? Like for example, let's just say, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago when we had that long below the IB at 37s, the tape picked up a little bit, the momentum. I'm assuming it would have picked that up, would you say, or how would you describe that momentum shift? Is it relative to the current volume for the session, or is it relative based on the hourly time of day volume, or is it based on a change in price that's bigger than the, like how is it calculating, I guess, the momentum shifts based on volume within the last period, within the last day. Yeah, exactly. That the speed of tape would be highlighted that in any color of your choice. So but how is it calculating the change in momentum? Is it based on like the last 15 minutes, based on a rolling period, or based on the prior day? That's the only thing I'm curious about, because it seems really cool. It's a moving average over it. You choose the... Oh, okay, cool. See, I wish I could do stuff like that with like Jigsaw. You can choose how long you want it to calculate. That makes sense. That's really neat. I would probably have like a general rolling period of the same day for my preference, just so I can catch it if something does shift while I'm doing something else. Like sometimes I can look at the tape and I can tell the momentum's shifting if it's been dead, but it takes some focus to be able to do that. All right, we're by the IB. See if it takes out the IBI here. And that was a target, and we'll have one runner for the rest of the day. See where that takes us. I'll take it right here. I'm not going to get greedy with it, just to call it, because in case it fades. So there's another one. And then we have one lot left. And yeah, that's it. We're done. We're wrapped up for now. If we get a break and continuation the second half of the day, so what that would look like for me is we close up here on the 4 hour. Then I would be willing to add a little bit more for an end of day test of 600s today. We would need to consolidate above the daily flip, the gamma flip level, which is right here at 69. Let me actually move this over out of the way. So if we can hold above the gamma flip into the end of the day or second half of the day right here, I'd be willing to add long against this structure right here, against the overnight high. Add to the trade there, and then we target the 600s. I'll be right back. All right. I could have Sierra's footprint and profile capabilities with ATS indicator. I'm a buyer for trading now. Profile is number one. Makes sense. There's the IB about a break there. So we can combine the two. That would be the... That would sell you on, yeah? Not bad. Any prop from that offers heat map. You know, that's the one thing I forgot to add is like, there's the break and go. Forgot to add like, book map, I think was one. I did not add on here. I know. Why? Why are you? Seems like you did ask for it, and all the troubles that come with it. You know what I mean. You don't have anywhere to charge over there?
Yeah, I do.
The charger. You want me to turn on the air in the car? Okay. There's super, yeah, ATS is here. I have ATS takes it for heat map. They have exactly like book map with icebergs and stop runs. You okay? They are super money hungry though. By the time you get everything, you're paying like $100 per month. You smell good. You do. Bye. Love you. Edge lock hue, color changes, left to right card, stronger outer halo. And then also, so how is Deep Dom going for you, man? So far? Yeah, I mean they're paying $100 plus a month. It's crazy with all the packages. I would assume the margins on them is pretty high. I don't know why they would charge so much. Well, cool. Looks like we have a lot of TradingView, Trade8 users, some Sierra Quant Tower, and then AT. Nobody Jigsaw or Deep Charts. Interesting. Well, there it is. The statistical trade worked out, hit the IB high. That worked out pretty well. The question now into the rest of the session for me. Bye. What time will you be home? Okay. The next question for me is whether we hold above the gamma flip or not for the day. So we can form value above the gamma flip. Yes, I am long from 75.37s. I had been long since last night at 20s on the failed breakdown or reclaim trade I gave on the newsletter. And then added a few more lots today on the failed breakdown of the party high. Deep Dom filters my entry and provides a clearer visualization for me. Spot the auction flip. But it's still the beta version, not recommended buying it. What do you mean by filters your entry by providing clear visuals? Like, how do you spot the auction flip? Is it like what is the DOM showing you? Like a flip in delta, momentum, a combination of the two? Very nice. Yeah, so did you buy the full license or did you buy the monthly? Because I think the monthly is like 33 bucks or something, or I think that's what the price was. And then the full license is about 400 bucks for the deep dump. I've never looked at it. I saw their website recently. So I saw the pricing, but I haven't seen the features. Oh, okay, so liquidity kind of flipping, right? So the liquidity, thickness of the liquidity flipping from one side to the other. Kind of like seeing the tides shift, so to speak. Like if you were looking at the water or the ocean, you kind of see a tide of a wave of orders, maybe? I don't know. I'm kind of trying to visualize what you're saying. Use about 3-month trial. Nice. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate all the commentary. It's been fun. I'm not bouncing or anything, just wanted to say that. We're flipping above the gamma flip after we open below it. That hasn't happened in a very long time. Prevents me from trying to get in with the current flow and readjust my expectations of price. I feel like that fits well your current trading style, so that's awesome. Does the live commentary of price help at all? Yes, good. That makes sense. Does it have like the ability to does it show the volume profile next to it? I think that's something you use, right? For delta volume profile next to it. Nice. Oh, you can stagger a few different things next to it. That's awesome. See, that's something I wish Jigsaw and Sierra would be able to allow you to have on your DOM. Clustering a few different things. Actually, Jigsaw does have that. I have the delta and the volume profile. But I mean, like adding like standard deviations or other different levels staggered onto it, they don't have much customization. I haven't tested many DOMs. Anyone who has tried a DOM and you really love the DOM that it offers because of the latency, the feel, the look, let me know. I'm open to trying it because right now I'm stuck on Jigsaw and I love it. Their DOM to me has been the cleanest one between the ones I've tried. I've only tried like 3 of them or 4 of them in total, and still ends up being my favorite. I used to only spot a liquidity pool in the price ladder with the MBO data. I can know whether the limit order is spinning small orders or player. Yeah, with that kind of context. So does that DOM show MBO orders as default? As part of the license? I think it supports data feed so as well, but I use the additional DX feed. Okay. There's a lot of, what the heck? Look at all that liquidity map right there. Just fired up bunch of orders to sell above. Pretty wild. A lot of lots. If I zoom in, it's probably like thousands right here. 500, 600. There's a ton of lots right there above the call wall. There's all by one entity as well. No way. Is it really? The hell? Yeah, MBO is showing 500 lots was one order. Sheesh. Probably hedging. You know what's funny? Here's the thing I'll say. It's above the call wall. Maybe it is someone hedging because they have to. It could be from running an iceberg. They could be just trying to float it up there. It could. It's also above the call wall, which is interesting, right? Like that's where that volume should be, on the other side of the call wall. For a multitude of reasons, it could be a hedge, a dealer hedging that call wall. That's my assumption, but fuck, I'll never know. We're holding the pretty cleanly off the off that gamma flip, and this is the prior month Valera high. They did like a little micro failed breakdown of the little range. It's very tiny though, like right here. Oh. I'll end up doing for today now is I'm just gonna trail this up. I really don't want to. I'll initiate trade depending on the second half of the day. So once this 4-hour candle officially closes above somewhere in between here, then into the second half I'll consider adding. For now I'll just trail it to wherever this is. This little higher low right here at 64. I have it at 61 just below. It's one of them grinders. Yeah, it could be a grind session the rest of the day. I'm gonna let this runner just ride out. We're sitting at about 700 net profit. This that runner is worth 180. We'll see where it takes us. It'll be worth 120 if it trails me out. I'll go from there. There's more orders sitting up there. I look, I'm not saying fade this thing. I think there's going to be a fucking short squeeze here, is what my assumption. All those orders are going to fuel. There's 1,000 lots, if I can see it right. Yeah, 1,700 lots, 500, 700. I don't know if they're spoofs or real, but that's the most I've seen consolidated in one area in a while. We're right at the call wall too, so yeah, very interesting. You have 600 touch? Yeah, I wouldn't either. Well, guys, I have to bounce early today. I got some stuff to do, unfortunately. I'm gonna hold this. I already have where my trail is for now. If I get stopped out, that's fine. I'll be back tomorrow, you guys. If you guys haven't read the newsletter, check it out. If you guys do read it, awesome. Thanks for supporting and reading it. I'm not asking anyone to pay for it, just read it, just so at least you have an understanding of where I'm at when you come into the session and you join me live. You have some background or some foreknowledge or some context as to like what I'm seeing, right? Like where my frame of mind is as we enter the new session. The Substack will kind of give you that context come the next morning, because I usually post it at the close. Hey, thanks you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Mr. Fung Fung, FH, CCW. I don't know real names. I don't know if that's weird. I'm usually being casual and like knowing people's names, but hey, usernames it is for now. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow.